Welcome back to Good Day Stateline. November 1st, of course, is the Day of the Dead. Manny is back with us tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about what the holiday really is about and what it means. Thank you so much for joining us again.
No problem.
We love being able to have such an authentic explanation and visual for this because a lot of people think they know what the Day of the Dead is and they don't.
Yeah, a lot of people get it confused with Halloween and it starts to mash in together, and that's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
Totally separate days.
Totally
obviously.
separate days.
So tell us a little bit, of the history and then why it's so important and what you're actually celebrating.
So what we're celebrating on the Day of the Dead is the life of the departed. In this case here, I have my mom's altar. It was originally supposed to be just my mom, but I have my sister and my nephew on here. They've all departed. So what we do is we built an altar. That's not to say that we're glorifying them. That's not to say that we're putting them on a pedestal. This is just our way of remembering them and bringing them some of their loved stuff. My mom, she loved her favorite snacks, her favorite foods, her favorite drinks. You build an altar, very, very simple. Usually you do tiers. That way, if you just put everything flat on one table, it just doesn't look right.
Right.
And the symbolism behind it is, back in Mexico, in the cemeteries, you would decorate the plot where they're buried. And a lot of the times they're buried above ground because it's under sea level, below sea level. So it would always be tiered off anyway because of the cemetery plot. So at home, you want to do is you want to build your tiers on a table or whatnot. And that way you have room for pictures and it starts looking beautiful. It's a piece of art. It's not just a bunch of stuff on a table for them.
Right.
So here we have, you have to have your four elements, wind, water, earth, and fire. So you have your candles, you have your element of earth with the flowers. If you have salt, and if you know the meaning of salt, it's more of a religious thing. You put salt or holy water down. You also want to do, for air, since I don't have papel picado, which is a really thin paper, you can do it with butterflies or anything that flies to the air. And then, like in the case of my nephew, a little toy for him. This is a toy little skeleton. Or your loved one's little toys or whatever the case may be. So every single one of them is unique. I've never seen two that look exactly the same.
Sure.
I like to put on stuff that either I've made, we made this, we made that, and then just stuff that they liked in their life, So that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way to honor somebody. And I kind of, it's awesome that it's the one day for everyone.
Yes.
Because it makes it just, it's like different, and it's like great way to learn more about these people, of your loved ones, for all of us and for anyone else who's participating too.
Yeah, a lot of the times if you have children that, if I had a child that never met my mom, this would be a great way to say, hey, mom loved this, or grandma liked that, and whatnot. So it's a way to keep those generations under you. Yeah. To keep remembering.
So obviously today is the Day of the Dead. Do you set up the altar like the morning of? How long does it stay up? Is there any specifications to that?
Me personally, I set it up probably about a week in advance. And depending on who's all going to see it, if you have it on a public place, a community altar. We have several community altars up in Chicago right now.
Yeah, you said a lot of your stuff is there, which is awesome.
Yeah, we sent a lot of our stuff. We had to cancel our event for plenty of reasons, but that was one of them. So those are on public display. Those can stay up longer.
Sure.
But for your loved ones at home, usually we light the first candle on the 28th.
Okay.
So we put it up on the 28th, and then we take it down on the 3rd.
Okay.
You're inviting a loved one that's passed death into your home, and you don't want it to linger too long. They have to rest in peace,
Good amount of time.
They have to rest in peace. So you have to send them away.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us, for sharing this. It is such an important piece of culture, and it's good for everyone to kind of understand what's going on and realize this is how you celebrate the Day of the Dead. And when you maybe see this somewhere, then you know a little more. And you can follow Manny all over the place. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Coming up next, we're digging into Tuesday trends with our social media expert. Don't go anywhere.